Welcome to Zone 6 Picks, your go-to source for daily sports betting predictions, expert insights, and free picks across the biggest games in the NBA, WNBA, NFL, MLB, NCAA, and more. We specialize in delivering accurate, research-backed betting content with no subscriptions, no hidden fees, just straightforward betting advice you can trust. Before we get started, a quick shout-out from my partner Zone 6.
What's up, family? Thanks for tapping in with Zone 6 Picks, where we drop game picks every single day. Straight free picks, no pay for play. If you like winning, this is the zone you need to be in, Zone 6. Just show the channel some love, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you don't never miss a money play. Let's eat.
What's up, family, and welcome back to the Zone. We went 3-1 on the last slate and look to carry that momentum. It's day 2 of the WNBA playoffs, and we've got 2 big matchups. The Fever try to stay alive at home against the Dream, while the defending champion Aces travel to face the Storm in Seattle. 2 games, high stakes, and plenty on the line. Let's dive in. The playoffs roll on as the Atlanta Dream head to Gainbridge Fieldhouse to face the Indiana Fever on Tuesday, September 16th, with the Dream holding a 1-0 series lead after an 80-68 win on Sunday. This matchup is a do-or-die situation for Indiana, and the betting lines tell a story worth breaking down. Atlanta enters in red-hot form, winners of 6 straight and 9 of their last 10 overall. Their season ATS profile was the best in the league, consistently outperforming market expectations both at home and on the road. Indiana, meanwhile, has been far more inconsistent. Their recent 3-2 stretch to close the season shows they can compete, but they lack the overall balance and defensive ceiling of Atlanta. In Game 1, the Dream's defensive schemes stifled Indiana's rhythm. Atlanta forced the Fever into contested half-court sets and leveraged their rebounding edge to control pace. Offensively, Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray set the tone with efficient scoring and decisive playmaking. On the flip side, Kelsey Mitchell poured in 27 for Indiana, but without Caitlin Clark creating mismatches and drawing doubles. The Fever's offense tilted heavily toward isolation play. That imbalance showed, and it's not easily fixed. Efficiency metrics back up what we're seeing on the floor. Atlanta ranked second in both offensive rating and defensive rating during the regular season. With a net rating of plus 10.0, they prefer to slow the pace, grinding possessions and forcing opponents to execute in the half-court. Indiana sits top 3 offensively, but 7th on defense, with a net rating of plus 4.3. They rely more on pace and shot volume. But in the postseason, when possessions tighten, the defensive gap becomes more glaring. The injury report adds another layer. Caitlin Clark is out for the playoffs. Sophie Cunningham, Ari McDonald, Sydney Carlson, and Chloe Bibby are all sidelined, while Damaris Dantas has been trending out as well. That leaves Indiana thin in both guard creation and frontcourt depth. Atlanta, by contrast, is essentially at full strength outside of rookie forward Taylor Thierry, who remains unavailable. From a betting perspective, Atlanta opened as a modest road favorite around minus 4.5 with a total in the mid-150s. The spread has held steady, a sign that sharp bettors are comfortable backing Atlanta despite Indiana's home court. With the Fever so short-handed, the public may look for a must-win narrative, but history shows desperation doesn't overcome roster gaps. Atlanta's superior depth and two-way efficiency make them the safer side. The most likely outcome is another Dream cover and a series sweep. Indiana will try to push tempo early, but Atlanta's defense and half-court scoring options should eventually take over. Expect the Dream to once again dictate pace, control the glass, and close out with free throws down the stretch. Projected final score: Atlanta Dream 82, Indiana Fever 75. The pick here is Atlanta against the spread and on the moneyline. For totals, bettors lean slightly under, given Atlanta's preference to slow the game and Indiana's reduced scoring options without Clark. Next, we slide to the west side for Game 2 of the Las Vegas Aces, heading to Climate Pledge Arena to take on the Seattle Storm. After a dominant Game 1 performance, the question now is whether the Aces can keep the pressure on and close this series out in convincing fashion. The Aces enter this matchup riding a 17-game winning streak, capped off by a 102-77 blowout in Game 1. They've been unbeatable over their last 10 contests, sitting at a perfect 10-0. Their season record of 30-14 reflects both their balance and their depth. And right now, this team looks like the juggernaut we've come to expect from the defending champions. Seattle has its work cut out. The Storm's 23-21 overall record shows they've been competitive, and they came into the postseason with some momentum, winning 6 of their last 10. They also split the regular season series, with Las Vegas 2-2, keeping 2 of those losses within a narrow margin. But Game 1 told a different story, exposing the gap in offensive firepower when both teams are at full strength. Looking at the efficiency numbers, Las Vegas holds the edge in overall production. Their net rating sits at plus 3.9, with an offensive rating of 105.9 and a defensive rating of 101.9. They score 83.6 points per game, while holding opponents to 80.7. The Storm have a respectable net rating of plus 2.9, with an offensive rating of 103.0 and a defensive rating of 100.1, putting up 82.1 points per game while giving up 80.1. On paper, the defensive battle looks even, but Game 1 proved that Las Vegas's ability to stretch the floor and knock down shots changes the entire equation. Against the spread, the Aces have been money, going 13-4 ATS during their current streak, and easily covering the minus 5.5 in Game 1. Seattle, by comparison, has struggled all year for bettors, sitting at 17-28 ATS. For Game 2, the books opened Las Vegas as a 6.5-point road favorite, and the line hasn't moved much, a clear indicator that both sharps and books trust the Aces to handle business again. Player availability further tilts the scale. Seattle is missing key contributors, including Katie Lou Samuelson, Jordan Horston, and Nika Moole, which puts added weight on Nneka Ogwumike, Skylar Diggins-Smith, and Ezzy Magbiger to carry the load. The Aces, meanwhile, are fully healthy, bringing their championship rotation intact into this matchup. In a playoff environment, that depth matters. Coaching adjustments will certainly be a factor, with Seattle expected to tighten their defensive coverages after allowing 50% shooting and nearly 50% from deep in Game 1. But Becky Hammon's Aces have been here before. Their playoff experience, composure, and ability to execute late in games is unmatched in this series. When you put it all together, the Aces' winning streak, their ATS dominance, their superior metrics, and the Storm's injury issues, the outlook is clear. Las Vegas is the stronger team, and even on the road, they're positioned to cover again and close out this series. Projected final score: Las Vegas Aces 93, Seattle Storm 82. That margin comfortably covers the spread and points toward another high-scoring affair, with the Aces' depth and shot-making simply overwhelming a short-handed Seattle roster. All right, good people of the zone, here's a quick recap. In Indiana, I'm backing the Atlanta Dream to get it done again. Win outright and cover the number against the Fever. Their depth, defense, and current form are just too much for a short-handed Fever squad. Out west, I'm rolling with the Las Vegas Aces to handle business in Seattle. The Champs have all the momentum, a full roster, and the firepower to cover on the road and push the total over. That's both plays for Tuesday's slate. If you're rocking with Zone 6 picks, hit that like button, drop your own leans in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss a breakdown. Let's stay locked in and keep stacking wins. Yo, real talk, I want the brooms to come out today. We feast.